Hey, what's going on? This is Shaun Allen, and today I want to talk about unity in the household.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day.
Now, the reason why I thought about this is because me and my wife been married for a whole long time. Whole long time. Well, not like a million years, but about 16 years. And the thing that I realize is it is so important to have unity in your household with you and your children and whoever else is in your household. Now, I want to ask you a question. What is unity? Now, I looked it up in a dictionary and I looked it up everywhere, and I put a couple of things together. So I got my phone right here and I want to make sure that I read it properly. Unity is being together and at one with someone or something. This is the word for togetherness or oneness. When the North won the Civil War, it assured the unity of the United States. Sports teams wear uniforms to show unity, and their fans wear team colors for the same reason. Now, I thought about sports in their uniforms, and that really grabbed me because I thought about if all the teams like the Lakers or like LeBron, if all of them had different colors, they would never do anything together. Because why? They're not unified. They have different colors, and it actually will cause confusion. So I was just thinking about that, and I just realized, like, man, if you don't have unity in a household, it's the same as a team not wearing the same colors. I thought that was pretty good because I like the Lakers. Well, I like LeBron because I like everything that he stands for and all the sacrifices he made. I ain't trying to argue with nobody, but I like LeBron. But let's just say LeBron is on the Lakers and he decided to wear a different color, and all his teammates decide to wear a different color that same game. Everybody will be confused because everybody is divided. So just like that, it's the same as you and your family being divided in your household. It's like you all wearing different colors. I want to ask you a question. Do you think that your household is divided? Because it was at one point, even in my personal life, me and my wife, we was very divided. We had arguments. We have all type of things that's going on in our personal life. And we just was on this side and this side. And when that began to happen, everything started to crumble. Everything didn't even work out right. Our finances, our vision, our healing, everything. And I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, Shaun, you have to get yourself together. Me and my wife both talk to each other and say, all right, we got to do better. We got to be one. Our family, we had to come together and we had to say, all right, we got to be unified, because we realized that we are stronger together, but we're nothing apart. All of us are wearing different colors like the team at one time, but now we realize that it's so important to wear one color, which is unity. So I want to ask you a question. Do you think that you and your family is unified, or do you think that you and your family is divided? And if you feel like that you are divided and you saying, Shaun, look, I am divided. I know it, that we argue, we fuss and fight, we never together. Our whole entire family is in shambles. But I want to give you a couple of tips that help you out that I thought was good. Like I said, I'm looking at my phone and I want to make sure that I get every single thing right. How do I be unified? Now, number one, you have to make a decision. Number two, you have to be humble and selfless. I thought that was good. Realizing that everything you need, such as power, provision, vision, healing, growth, is in unity. You have to make a decision. You have to realize that, number one, you are divided. Like, we all come together and say, man, we ain't doing good. We are divided. We have strife and division in our house, and we got to do something about it. That's the first step. Actually realize that you have a problem. Number two, you have to realize that you got to be humble, because it takes a lot of humility to be unified, because it's not even about yourself. It's selflessness. It's about the other person, and the other person is thinking about you. And if both of y'all are thinking about each other, then everything begins to work out. I want to use an example that I thought was really good. It was a story about a whole bunch of people was at a dinner table, and the husband and wife, one of their hands was behind their back, and the only job that they had was to feed each other with the other hand. They couldn't feed themselves, but they was making sure that everything that the other person liked, they grab it with the fork, then they begin to feed the other person. I want y'all to really think about that. If that's all you can do with your husband or wife or your family, it's your job is just to always feed that person, make sure that that other person is good. How far will we all go if we had that mind frame to say, it's not about me, but it's about the other person? I can't feed myself. It's my job to feed the other person, and the other person's job is to feed me. That's unity. That's coming together and saying that me and you understand our part. Me and you understand that we are a team, and our job is to feed each other. Now, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but what I am saying is that I learned a lot of lessons along the way from, my mentor, Bishop Miller, and I learned a lot from my own wife. I learned a lot of things about my wife explaining things to me so I can really understand that, look, I can't be selfish. I can't think about myself. I have to think about her, and she has to think about me. And when we begin to come together and do this thing called life, then that's when the miracles and deliverance and the finances and the vision begins to explode. Now, I took you through 2 steps. What is unity? How do I get unity? What happens when you are unified? Let's go to Matthew 18:20. For 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. I want you to think about that. When 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. So what happens if it was the opposite? If 2 and 3 was not together, he was not in the midst of them. I want you to think about that scripture on the opposite side. So that's clearly explaining to you that when you begin to have 2 and 3 people gather together, your husband, your wife, your children, whoever, your family members, when y'all begin to come together, God is in the atmosphere. And what happens when God is in the atmosphere? Everything happens in the atmosphere. Everything that you need, provision, and all of these things that you've been searching for your whole life will begin to happen very, 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 very quickly because he's in the room. Can I ask you a question? Is he in your house? Is he in the room?